Welcome to Butterflies of Wisdom, everyone. We're going to start this episode as if there was no episode before because technology cut us off. And so I don't know if you guys have been sending good vibes to me and those we have, but basically I'm waiting for one more piece of paperwork to go through, which right before I got on this call, we just got the confirmation that everything looks good. Now I'm on to the next step with them. And yes, I'll be working with my division of Colorado Vogue Rehab as soon as they're done helping me, because right now it's conflict of interest if they hire me to help them while they're helping me. You guys completely get that. And so they would potentially pay for the program and definitely pay for assistive technology. And as you know, on Thursday, August 3rd, the Mosaic of CP came out. And I'm going to let my co-host take it away because he wants to say something about the Mosaic of CP. So Mel, take it away.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Let's try this one more time. Anyway, Wynn, I hope you're having a terrific day. And I just wanted to share something to all of the listeners out there, and thank you all again for spending your afternoon with us. So just so you guys know, Wynn and I really spend a lot of time offline communicating, and Wynn is always on this ever, relentless pursuit to be the best that she can, and her heart really is into this CP thing because A, obviously she's part of the demographic, she has it, and B, she has an incredible voice and she wants to leverage her skills and talents to be able to do that so that people who have CP or people who are around people who have CP can understand or have at least some glimpse of what it's like to be in that life and, do the best they can around them. Now, this book, Mosaic of CP, I can tell you, is an absolute labor of love for her. She has poured her heart into this, and obviously she's evolved and grown since she wrote I Win. And I feel honored in that she's constantly looking for feedback and insight from me as a coach and as a fellow entrepreneur, and I do my best to give her all I've got. I'm doubly honored that I could be part of this journey, and I'm just asking you guys, let's take this thing and learn about it. Let's read it. Let's get it in front of as many hands and eyes as possible. Share it with your friends, with people that you think it would resonate with. Share it with people that you think it would help. And let's drive this thing to the top. I think the effort to make it a New York Times bestseller would just warrant, that kind of effort, and it would also ensure that it will get in the most hands and eyes as possible. And not to mention the fact the inspiration it would just give Wynn to even write a further book down the line in her journey, which I'm sure she'll do, because she has decided, I believe by 2019 or 20, correct me if I'm wrong, Wynn, that you are going to be a full-time author and podcaster. So that kind of decision-making and that kind of dedication is not an easy thing to do, but it's not difficult when you have your heart filled with that kind of intention. So I'm very proud to be part of it. Anyway, with the risk of rambling on, I just wanted to express that, and let's get this book in as many hands and eyes as possible. Let's make it a winner together for Wynn so she can continue to win as best she can. All right, guys?
I'm so sorry, you guys. Mel just texted me because I muted my mic because Mel was talking and I muted my mic. So let's try that again. I muted my mic because Mel was giving an eloquent speak, and I just didn't understand what was going on. Can't you hear me? That's why I muted my mic. And so thank you, Mel, for saying that by a text message. I'm talking away and I muted my mic. So anyway, what I was trying to say is that 9,000 copies needs to be sold of the soft cover of the ebook of the audio version, which as soon as it gets published on Create Space, we can move on to the audio version. And it will be sold all over the planet with Apple, with Nook, with Kobo, with Kobo's a Canadian company, with Amazon, of course. Now, the trick and a half is with this one, you guys. I've quickly discovered mystery here. Amazon Kindle would only let me select $2.99. How I did it on iBooks would let me select not 99 cents. So I'm trying to figure out how to lower the price on Kindle. If anyone knows, let me know, because I need to get this book into people's hands that literally can't see, can't speak, disabled, you know the drill. And so, and disabled surprisingly live on a very tight budget. But I want to talk with Mel today about scheduling and solo entrepreneurship and get his opinions on that. And Mel, I have a question for you live. When did you leave the brick and mortar personal training aspect? I know you're still in it, but you're really focused on online stuff now.
Yeah, I owned one of the top grossing Fitness Together franchise studio locations in America, in the country, back from 2003 to 2008. Fitness Together is a private luxury fitness training company. You had your own fully equipped private training suite with your own highly educated coach. We had 3 rooms, and my staff and I were directing 200 workouts plus per month. And I ended that in 2008. And that was a big part of my history.
So you left the corporate world in 2008, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did.
And
it was a difficult time.
Yeah. As we all know, the economic downturn too. So lost everything, and lost everything, and never quite recovered from that one. And so this is why I say that entrepreneurship is for those who can do it, but now entrepreneurship is not only for those who can do it, it's for those who want to do it. I mean, I have a friend who's hit the New York Times bestseller list with self-published books, I believe, 3 times. She's hit the New York Times bestseller list. She got out of it because everyone decided to publish everything under the sun on Kindle, and so that's why she got out of it. But you have to set yourself up for success. And when the decision was made, well, it was actually made on June 27th, 2017, a week after I turned 30, and then it was actually more and more solidified yesterday that I can actually do this, and Voc Rehab is going to help me, and my family's going to help me, and I sat there filling out 14 pages of, can you actually do this? Can you actually do this? And I said, yes, I can. Yes, I committed to myself. Yes, I have a book. Yes, I have a team, a wonderful team around me that includes not only my family, but Mel. And so, I am going to do it. And so what we're here to talk about today is scheduling as an entrepreneur. And then next week, we're going to talk about more scheduling, but being healthy as you guys run your company. And Mel knows more about that than I do, so that's his subject, not mine. But what I wanted to say is I work out 2 days a week. I do PT 2 days a week. So I try to get up in the morning, and I'm lucky that I use my phone as a computer. So I am lucky that I can write on my phone. I also have a 12.9-inch iPad that I just got for my birthday that I'm slowly but surely writing books on. So I'm lucky that I can use technology to write my books. And yes, I do use Siri, and then it gets sent to my editor. But Mel, I don't know how to put this, but I'll put it this way. Should the new entrepreneur, well, I've been in the entrepreneur field, honestly, for 11 years because I've only been stuck in the cubicle 1 day a week. But now I'm slowly but surely phasing out of the cubicle because I can't make money in the cubicle. And you guys know that. AKA the classroom, you guys know that teachers don't make money. Writers do. Solo entrepreneurs do. So, that's why I'm doing it. For my health and for my safety and for my sanity. And so, Mel, when the new entrepreneur starts out, they should probably block out, okay, this is what I'm going to do and this is how I'm going to do it. When do you think?
Yeah, you know, it starts with a concept, right? In your mind, you have this idea you're going to do it. That's all fine and dandy, but your heart and your mind have to align because entrepreneurialism is not for everybody. It is one of the most difficult endeavors of a life journey. It really, really is. There's a lot of pain, a lot of heartache, a lot of what seemingly is failure, but just, opportunities to learn and adjust. You can have the best intentions and the best ideas, and sometimes you don't get the result that you're looking for right away. You have to find your niche. You have to refine your product and your service. And most important, it's about you. Entrepreneurialism is about you. People buy you. They invest in you. They don't invest in the product that you're presenting. They don't invest in a service that you're presenting because chances are someone else is already doing it. Small business is all about personality. So once you get that down and you put together your business plan and you launch, now comes the hard part. Now comes the discipline of the activities, scheduling everything, making it a reality. And there are times when it's difficult. It's easy, right? When it's easy, you're thinking, oh, this is great, we're rolling. And then it becomes difficult. You start to have mental and emotional fatigue. You start to question yourself. You're not getting the prosperity that you expected. The marketing pieces that you're working on and using are not producing the lead generation that you want. So, and then on top of that, maybe your working capital isn't there and it's starting to dwindle. And that puts added stress somewhere else, which is why you still have a job in order to support your entrepreneurial endeavor. But there comes a shift though where you won't need that anymore. And if you're blessed enough and you're lucky enough, your business is strong where you can do that. That takes time. Not everybody experiences windfall at the same time. Being an entrepreneur is one of the greatest things you can achieve. Anything and everything in our lives right now was because an entrepreneur had enough vision to do it. All you've got to do is look at the Industrial Revolution. And everything that we use today is because some entrepreneur out there or someone had an entrepreneurial mindset to share it with the world, and here you are. So To answer your question, yeah, it's a difficult thing. Not an easy thing, but it sure is a fun and glorious thing if you could stick it out. It's not for everyone, but once you start and you get a taste of a little bit of success, and if you're stubborn enough and you're tenacious enough and you're relentless enough, it's incredibly rewarding. So if you have that bug inside of you and you have something that you absolutely believe in your heart is worth pursuing, by all means pursue it, because if you don't, you're going to deny us of your brilliance. You're going to deny us of the next greatest thing that could help the world and mankind. You never know. It could be something small. It could be something really tiny, but it could be incredibly significant and major later on. So that's how I see it.
So that's how you see it. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I am a little bit different. To those of you who are now just coming out of your rock, I hate to say it, but some people accept disabilities more than others. And for those of you who just tuned in and now are saying, oh, Butterflies of Wisdom is run by a disabled woman with able-bodied people around her, welcome to the team. Welcome to my crazy family. But a lot of people think that Butterflies of Wisdom is for the disabled. That is not true, because I interview able-bodied people all the time. I throw the disabled in for good measure, just to show what they're doing. And next week I'm actually bringing my editor on, and we're going to talk about her family with a disability and her work and why she decided to go the editing route. And so that's going to be interesting. And then I'm actually bringing on another person who is newer to my life, but she's working along with me. She's actually my aide / housekeeper, so that's going to be interesting. Right now we're dealing with that, and eventually I will bring Colorado Vogue Rehab on. But the reason why I wanted to shed light on the disabled is because I feel like the disabled don't get their time to shine. And I have that bulleted, tiny, shoppy attitude. But getting back to scheduling, I have a scheduling system when I do my interviews. To the exception of Mel, I have my assistant, and my assistant isn't virtual. She was virtual, but we got her to a place where she's actually here now. She's actually my BFF, and so that's why I hired my BFF, because she knows what I want. So I use a scheduling system called Calendly, and so people can pick their times to be interviewed by me, and that 9 times out of 10 it works. And typically I record my shows on Tuesdays and then Fridays, and then those who want to record Sundays, I let them, because even though I'm dealing with U.S. based, I'm also dealing with international based. I mean, I had fans in Stockholm, Sweden, for crying out loud. So, and I have fans in London, and I have fans all over the place. So, and I typically work on the East Coast. I don't work in Mountain, which the East Coast is 2 hours behind us. So I typically work on coast. On the coast, I don't work in my own time zone. So you need to block this out. You need to say, okay, I'm going to write for 2 hours to get 4,000 words done, and then I'm going to go work out, go see light of day, and I force myself to go upstairs without my phone and go sit and have lunch away from my office. my office is down the flight of stairs. Yes, I said my office is down the flight of stairs, and my living room is up a flight of stairs. So I have to go up the stairs literally to get to my lunch, which is great exercise in itself. And to get to my bedroom from our vehicle, I literally have to go up a flight of stairs, down a flight of stairs. And people may think that's insane, but I know Mel doesn't think that's insane because he's the health coach end of it, and he thinks that stairs are wonderful, as do I. But a lot of people say to me all the time, I've been asked over the years, why isn't your house handicapped is accessible for you? And I'm like, do you know how expensive remodeling our houses for to make it handicapped is accessible? Because of course they have different codes and different state codes too. So it's like, no, we're not doing that. And so that's why I do that. But I typically work from about 8 a.m. to about 9, and then I typically get dressed. I need full assistance on getting dressed, so that factors into my work day. And what I tend to do, I tend to email people my schedule. So when I have a meeting, I tend to ask people, send me a Google invite so I can stick it on my calendar, then I can stick it on my schedule, and I tend to email my dad my schedule so he knows what's going on. And now, quite frankly, it's pretty much stay the same, but in-person meetings with those out have to be factored in to my schedule. So I try and block out time for writing. I try and block out time for podcasting, but that's just me. I mean, I don't know how Mel does it, but that's just me. And 9 times out of 10, when I'm in a meeting, people leave me alone unless they really need me. And there are good days I'm stuck at my house. Today I'm home just because they're paving the streets. I mean, they're literally paving the streets of Aspen as we speak, in this 1 hour delays getting in to Aspen. So the joys of paving. And so that's, I'm not homebound per se, like some disabilities but I tend to get out on a daily basis. But today I'm home just because I don't want to deal with the traffic and getting into town. Otherwise, I would be out and about. But yesterday, I was gone all day. I mean, I had working out. I had my meeting down Valley at a public library, which those of you who haven't gone to a library in a long time need to go in to one to just look at paperback books. I mean, we're all so used to the Kindles now that it's not even funny. So Mel, how do you schedule your time?
Well, it's a mixed bag. I have my regulars that I train in person that are generally within 1 or 2 hours of the regular time that they stay in, and then the rest of it I kind of float along. As I mentioned to you earlier before we started this episode, I am part of right now 3 live workshops, coaching groups that I'm either conducting or part of. And that translates into actually, 7 workshops I do per week. And that's not even including you and I recording. So, I have to be very careful with my schedule and just kind of plot things out. But the funny thing is everything usually gets done. You have clients that kind of come in and out and they'll shift and they'll cancel. They may reschedule certain appointments and whatnot, and that'll open up another hour here or there. And when that happens, I always take advantage of it to use that time for either another activity to catch up on things, or I actually use it to recover. it's so important to make sure that you plan your recovery time as well. So, I've been using calendars since, my career started, 1984, and we didn't have smartphones back then where you can use a Google Calendar. We're talking writing it down. In a day timer, I had volumes and volumes and volumes of small day timers that had, on Monday or Tuesday, it looked beautiful for the week. And then by Tuesday, it's all scribbled up. This changed, that changed, this changed. Nonetheless, you got to be flexible, right? Yeah. So Calendly and all that all works. And, but most of the time you just got to be fluid with it, and because changes do happen. And, you just got to balance out activity plus recovery at the same time.
I was, and to throw my beloved mom into this, I was trained growing up to use a day timer. I was trained growing up to use a day timer. And for those of you who don't know what a Filofax is, that's how my mom did it. My mom did it for 55 years. She wrote everything down in that Filofax. Of course, we have that Filofax because every medical piece known to man on me was in that Filofax. So, of course, the Filofax isn't going anywhere. And I wish I could find a digital tool like a Filofax, but digital, because I do better on digital. Although, maybe in my next life, I'll get a small Filofax, because I think writing it down, it also practices your handwriting, and writing it down improves your memory too. So, Calendly and a Filofax, I think, would be a good combination. The moment I think of that, I know my mom would be proud of me the moment I say that, because, and I know Mel would be proud of me too, because I now am going to go the traditional route and go the digital route, do a combination of both, because I remember using a time tracker in high school, and I think that's a wonderful idea. So, yes, I'm eventually buying a small Filofax and using it. And so there we go, because I was trained on the traditional methods of writing things down. I mean, I had to teach my mom how to text. There we go. And she was on an Android phone, not this iPhone. And so at the time, we didn't have iPhone. So, and so I was trained on a flip phone. I was trained on the Filofax. So I'm the weird millennial that is the end of the 87 generation who was trained on big computers, not laptops, not tablets, and so I was trained on big QE2 Macintoshes in second grade that took up half the corner of the second grade classroom, and of course my friends knew that was my assistive technology, and that was at the time the only assistive technology I had. Now growing up, you have assistive technology at the end there. So I think writing your schedule out every Sunday helps tremendously, and emailing it to someone. My dad has requested that I email my schedule to him on Sundays in Word so he can look at it and he can email me back. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't change, but when it does, I need to update it, and that's how we do it in this house. And so I think that everyone should either have a shared calendar with someone or email their schedule out.
Yeah, that does help. If your support team needs to know what's going on with you, it's very helpful, because if there are people trying to access you and whatnot, and you hold on to that schedule all by yourself and you're working with the team, they got to know when you're available, when you're not. So no, that's a smart thing. Absolutely. Yeah. It's, God, as you were speaking, I was just kind of reminiscing back on those days of all those notebooks I used to write. And, it's so much easier. It's so much easier now. Yeah. The template's already there. You can have repeats on certain appointments that are recurring. You can do it infinitely for the rest of your life if you wanted to, or stop it on a particular date. So it is a lot easier, but the pitfall of this is that it makes you far more accessible sometimes. So you got to watch your time, right? You just got to make sure that, like I said, you got to balance out your recovery and your activity at the same time.
Yep. And unfortunately, I did something incredibly stupid. Well, it wasn't my fault. On Monday, the exo kind of got broken, so we didn't notice until I was in the middle of the room in the exo, and I'm like, I said to the BP, I'm like, is my feet really dragging on the exo? Well, it turns out that the heel was coming off the exo, so we duct taped the exo with me standing in it, and unfortunately, when they shifted my weight, and because I was dragging the heel of the exo, and unfortunately, by the time they shifted my weight to fix it, I actually pulled a muscle, believe it or not. So I've been dealing with that for the past 2 days, and I'm like, oh, this is great. And so I've been trying to get up and move and walk it off, but publishing a book doesn't help that. But always schedule exercise into your routine. I don't care if you have to tell the kids I'm going for a run. I don't care if you need to go shift it on and do yoga. But always schedule exercise into your routine.
I did a live birthday workshop the other day where I had outlined and detailed the top 6 things that I do now at 53 that keep me in way better shape than I was in 33. And you're hitting one topic really high, in that you got to make health and fitness as important as your job. And mathematically, it is impossible not to. I will give you, out of 52 weeks in a year, I'm going to give you 4 weeks off. 2 weeks for vacation, 1 week for having the flu, and another week for whatever reason you need to take the week off. If you work out twice a week at 20 to 30 minutes, which is nothing, and you can do this at home. I customize workout programs for people all around the world for 15 to 20 to 30 minutes, because that's all the time they have in the morning before they get their day started. If you did that twice a week, that's 96 workouts in 365 days. You can't tell me that you can't do that. I mean, come on, And what happens is, if you overload yourself with information and you're a conduit for information and energy, then you're absorbing a lot of stress because of all the other responsibilities that you have to meet. And physically, your body cannot handle that. If you want to recruit and harness the best creativity out of yourself, the best energy, the best inspirations that you need for your business and for your life, you've got to have a physical outlet. That's why working out is so important. You want to train for your life. You want to eat for your life, for the ultimate life that you live. My nutritional programs are simple. Eat for energy so you can eat for life. It's long term. It's really simple. I don't do anything too complicated. When it comes to your workouts, just do them, and do them correctly. Don't be sloppy. Train sharp, you look sharp. Train sloppy, you look sloppy. Make sure your workout programs are effective and correct. And if they're not, ask a professional like myself. There's so much information out there. But don't be a sponge that cannot wring out any more water simply because it's under a running faucet all day long. That running faucet represents your stress, and your body just takes it on. And you know what happens to you? You age really, really badly. So you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So yes, listen to win. Schedule your workouts. Get them done.
Schedule. No, people ask me all the time. My colleagues in my cubicle job ask me all the time. They say, Win, I see you at the gym all the time because it's a public gym. I do PT at a public gym. And so how do you do it? And I say, I just schedule it. So, for you teachers out there, I know you, are going back to school in August. Yes, I know that. And so I would say schedule a 15-minute walk on a lunch break when the other lead teacher is leading the class. Walk behind the class and don't do a jog, but do a brisk walk. And or you can tell the other lead teacher when the kids are napping, I'm going out for a walk. Can you just watch the kids? So implement it into your work day because I know teachers forget to exercise. I know that for a fact. So what I spent my first year teaching, was in a wheelchair, and my colleagues didn't know I could walk until the second year of my job. And because I spent the first year in a wheelchair, and because of my back, I think, and because it's because of my campus is set up oddly, and I wasn't sure where I was going to be. I was working in literally the office at that time, and they didn't know what to do with me until the second year of my job. And so I literally was working in a cubicle, so it was easier for me to be in a wheelchair. But the second year of my job, people go, Lynn, you can actually walk? And I'm like, yeah, but you guys didn't see it because I was in a wheelchair. And let me tell you, I learned the hard way. If I don't use my muscles get empty because I am so used to walking. And that's why I use the Exo like I do, because I use it as a big, huge gait trainer to get my body into shape. And yes, I'm giving up sugar, giving up the cakes and the candies, and in my 30s and in my 40s, I will not eat cakes and candies, even though they're around my house. But, and even though I have control, but the cool thing is I can walk to the fridge. I can walk to my room and see if there's a time bomb, but which there is in my desk. But I can't walk to the fridge to get food. My food is controlled by whoever able bodied is around my house. And so that's why I'm skinny as well. But also, I am an exercise nut, and you guys know that by now. So when you have a meeting and you want to go to the gym, but a person really wants to get a hold of you, what do you say to that person? Because the human body wasn't designed to sit at a computer all day.
Oh God, no, it's not. There are worse spinal traumas that happen to the human body by sitting stagnant, over and over and over for years on end. Heck, you could be in a cubicle all day long, and if you just got up and set an alarm for yourself every half hour just to stretch out and walk, there's a couple of things you can do there. But at the end of the day, you really should have a formal exercise program in place. It's really not that difficult. And myself, it's one of the first things that I schedule. I do strength training 3 to 4 days a week. I have 2 running days where I'll run a 5-mile day, and then I'll run a 8 to 10 mile day the next day, and that's usually about 4 days apart from each other. And then I have like 1 or 2 recovery days in between. And I manage my energy more so than I manage my time. I do have certain activities and appointments I need to meet, but if my energy just isn't there, it's my business and my life. I'll reschedule it. There's just no way I'm going to burn myself to the ground. So, if you're not an entrepreneur, you don't have that luxury, then, still still make exercise as important as your job. It's not that difficult.
And
I know people that are single parents that have 2, 3 jobs, and they still do it. So I find it hard to believe for people that tell me, well, I don't have the time. No, you're not making the time because you're not seeing the value of it. That's why.
I have a friend who on her day off, she goes to the community center and the kids stay home or she takes them with her and she does it that way. And people, they are all standing desks out there and there are ways to raise your laptop. Yes, when it's going to eventually raise the laptop up to eye level. And there are exercise balls. I actually acquired an exercise ball. That's where I leave my iPad with the exercise ball. So what the exercise ball actually does is you sit on it. You have to control your body weight. It has no arms whatsoever. It has a back, but it's an exercise ball. And so you get good. You burn a half an hour of cardio sitting on the exercise ball. And so there are ways to adapt exercise to your solo entrepreneur lifestyle. I mean, I know people that use speech dictation because they got carpal tunnel, and I know people that also use standing desk that, get out of the house every few days to go work out. So what's your excuse? Mm-hmm. And as we're saying, just schedule it in.
Mm-hmm. Start with a walk, right? It's the cheapest thing. It's free.
Go for a walk.
If you have a pair of decent shoes, go. If it's hot outside and it's a summer month, well, get up half an hour earlier and put some shoes on before it gets really cold or before it gets really hot. Throw on some music in your iPhone and go. It's not hard. You'd be surprised how well the body responds and really receives it and just absolutely appreciates that you're taking care of it. It's not that hard. It really is. So
I feel better now than I did in my 30s, in my 20s. Don't hold me to that, Mel. My brain is mush. And so I feel better than I did in my 20s because, quite frankly, I have a back brace. Quite frankly, I'm using the EXO, which is fabulous technology. And quite frankly, the back brace has taught me not to slump over in chairs. And I'm actually leaving iPad with the exercise ball. So when I go right on the iPad, books on the iPad, I can sit there and hold my body weight and do exercises. I should probably do heel raises, knowing PTs out there. And PTs are going to yell at me for this podcast, but that's okay. But at least I'm exercising 1 to 2 days a week. And as soon as this paperwork comes through, I maybe even exercise more because as I said, I'm quitting the cubicle, but I have the luxury of walking around my campus, and I still will go back to my campus and read kids' books to kids, and the teaching side is never leaving me, but my campus country day is set up where you have to walk to different buildings and you have to walk outside and stand outside, and country day is not handicapped accessible, nor do we have covered buildings. So you have to walk out to the English classroom, walk down to my office, walk over to the music classroom, which is my new office. So I have the luxury of walking throughout my day, and these Fitbits and Apple Watches are just part of it because you put these things on and you leave them on.
Yeah, it's whatever works, Lynn. Heck, if you can work out, if I can work out, why can't anybody else? You know, we're not I don't consider us any more special or any less challenged than anyone else, right? Especially you. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. My dad skis in the winter. That's his form of working out, and he bikes with me. I force him to go biking with me. But I had a friend tell me today actually, diabetes is going to kill her, and I'm like, yeah, because you're not working out. She has a tricky situation right now, and it's like, yeah, you're going to be killed by your own disability. Great, wonderful, another statistic of diabetes. And so now, you have to be active, especially when you have a disability. There are PTs, there are personal trainers. You can get PTs to help you. PTs in a private gym. They have, at least at my gym now, they have a full-on PT department, and most gyms do. I know in Mel's case that he works at a private gym as a personal trainer. Do they have a PT department where you work, Mel?
No, we're strictly strength and conditioning here. I freelance here at a place called Rock Solid Fitness, but we have quite a few physical therapists and a lot of medical personnel that work after. So the resources are all here, just regardless. But anyway, yeah, it's I just gotta get it done.
You just have to Google. You just have to Google and schedule and figure out PT plan for you, or personal training plan for you. And Mel, I know, offers consultations. I know that if you call my PTs, they would help you out. They're local here, but I know Mel works with people across the country, and so Mel's a good resource. Just ask me. I have excellent resource on the East Coast she's actually a trained PT that does her independent PTing. So her name is Dr. Karen Litzy. She also has a podcast, which yours truly has been featured on twice now. And her perspective is making the world a better place through PT. And it's called Healthy, Wealthy, and Fun. And I listen to it just because I want to be cutting edge on the PT technology too, because technology and PT changes all the time, and so it's technology and personal training. But now, as we end this episode, what would you say to close it out?
It's take inventory, guys. If you are over 40, I could tell you right now, there's a whole different set of health problems that are facing you. Inflammation is the main driver and cause of most of your major diseases. If you are not in some sort of exercise program that helps lower the stress level that the body receives from the mind and your environment, you are increasing that inflammation. You don't want to be having conversations with your doctor where your doctor is saying, look, if you don't change this now, or if you don't lose weight, or if you don't do this, it's too late by then. You're already in an uphill battle. But if that's the case, then impress your doctor on your next physical by being proactive with your health and fitness. Start simple. Take a walk. Many walks. Every day. Every other day. Work out. Join a gym. Email me. If you don't know how, I will help you. It's not that difficult. I work with clients all around the world. And trust me, if you tell me you have 15 minutes a day, I will put together a program that you can do 15 minutes a day, and I guarantee it's going to be effective based on how you move. So there's always a way to do it. If you have a lot more time to invest in it, great. But nonetheless, just get started and make it as important as your job. Because if you don't, you're not going to have a job to do later on.
Yeah.
That's it.
I was just going to say that. You're not going to have a job.
You're not going to have a life or a job.
It's
about quality of life, right? Why have diabetes? Why have all those? I don't know if that's hereditary in your life or genetically predisposed. That's fine, but you can absolutely not so much reverse it, but you can change your internal structure. You really can. I know people that have lost 10, 20, upwards to 100 pounds. Lowered their prescription medication to almost nothing. Sometimes, in some cases, none at all. The body is a natural healing mechanism, and if you don't help it, it can only do so much on its own. And you only have one body, so please take care of it.
And I've learned, you guys, CP and excess sugar, don't mix. Right. So, again, I'm putting on my schedule, and my dad will be thrilled with this one, but he's going to support me because, so, again, I'm sticking on my schedule. I'm going on a diet of no sugar. And so, he's going to be thrilled with that one because he likes the candy bars and cookies. But I have to eliminate the sugar because of, it causes me physical pain. It causes me physical pain and I can't move. And, and so cheesecake, no more as of next week, and no more Milky Ways as of next week. And I told two people this, one dietitian and one my health coach, Mel. And so now you people have to hold me to it. Make sure that I'm doing it. And I will, even though I'm skinny, I'm not doing it for weight reasons. Well, I'm doing it for pain reasons because part of CP is my tone and part of CP is bones and joints are screwed up and GI tract is screwed up, and we need to do a whole nother episode on the inside of CP here with Mel because I want to get participants in live, but obviously I'm giving up sugar, I'm starting a new career, so, and those of you who are going back to the classroom in August, good luck. I don't start back in September, but I know some of you on the East Coast do, and that's not a pretty picture because we don't make enough money. I wish we made more, and that's why I'm transferring into solo entrepreneurship. But I want to thank you guys for support of this latest book and this latest project, and I will keep you updated. And then if this comes to this, I'm walking my campus and teaching English once a week, but we'll see. That probably won't happen. Knowing me, that probably won't happen. But I'm at least walking my campus once a week, I bet, because the English department is further than the music department. So I'll walk down to lunch if I have to. But as Mel said, just go take a walk. Just go take a walk around.
Get up and go.
Mother Nature. Get up and go.
Get some fresh air.
Podcast and areas, and don't sit in front of a computer, and don't sit on the iPhone. And so walk and give the people your email address, Mel, so they have it.
Right. Absolutely. Just get moving, please. Take care of your body. You only have one, right? You only have one to live in.
Yeah. And Mel, what's your email address, just in case people want to email you about working out?
Contact melmartin@gmail.com. Exactly how it sounds. The word contact, my name, Mel Martin, @gmail.com. Contact Mel Martin @gmail.com, and feel free to go to my Facebook page, Mel Martin, and you can see a lot of information there. I recorded a Facebook Live birthday workshop on Tuesday, and feel free to watch it. I have a lot of information there, and I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to help you, okay?
And block out time when you do this, guys. Don't take the kids with you. Just say, I'm going for a walk at 9, or just tell your significant other, email your significant other, or better yet, put it on the calendar and share it with your significant other. That's what calendars are meant for it to be shared. And we'll get more into this next week, and I'll give you guys an update as to what I'm doing. But let's try and make this book a New York Times bestseller. I think I could do a exercise book on working out with CP. What do you think, Mel?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Julian.
Yep.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I think it's time for me to collaborate with Mel and do an exercise book on CP. I seriously do, because a lot of the people getting diagnosed with CP and then they don't know how to deal with it in their adulthood. I know how to deal with it, but a lot of people don't. So Mel and I are going to collaborate on a book, and Mel and I are going to definitely talk about that offline. And get me out of the cubicle is the first step. Get me in journalism class is the second step. And then Mel and I are going to collaborate on a book, you guys. So watch out.
Absolutely.
Now that wind's
Watch out.
out of the cubicle. Watch out. And so we appreciate you supporting us, and we'll catch you next Thursday, and then you'll catch me more, and then you know what to do with. You'll probably be sick of me by the time that December goes around. But I will see what I can do about the New York Times bestseller list. But if it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, and just remember, 9,000 copies need to be sold. But if you guys want to do it, great. If you guys don't want to do it, that's fine too. And then all next week, 9,000 copies need to be sold, and you guys will be hearing this episode as of tonight, so you guys will know what's going on. And so we appreciate you guys, and I'm signing off with Mel because I think we've done enough rambling on, and we definitely appreciate you guys. Thanks, you guys.
Good. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.